Rising, rising, rising. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Devine. I hope that you all are doing amazing, well, and in good spirits. So, last night I was having a back and forth conversation with myself, with God, my higher self, and normally when you're venting out feelings or you're releasing all of this frustration, you might do it in various forms like journaling, which I've done, you know what I mean? But this was a very audible expression, which was so interesting to me because it's like call and response. And it's like on one hand, it's the persona version of myself conversating with the higher version of myself all at the same time, and it's coming out of one person. It's just so funny. And every time I do this, and I don't do it very often, mind you, but when I do it, I'm like, I really need to do this more often, even though by the end of it I'm like, boy, I feel like a cray right now. But it's like it really helps to remind me that I'm really never ever alone, and God is not this outside energy or entity. It is me. It is within me. God is living through me. I am an expression of the one. And I just think that's so cool when you have that immediate direct access to that wisdom, that elder wisdom within yourself, that just it's just like a mother, you know what I mean? Motherly, fatherly energy that just can meet you where you are because it knows who you are, and break things down to where you can understand it in your personality in real time. So I just find it really, really amazing. And of course, yesterday I was ranting like a little baby in my frustration about various things. But one of the main things that I got from my conversation yesterday was, while you may feel like a failure in certain aspects of your life, and you look back on certain decisions that you made or things that you would consider to be mistakes, you think that these mistakes really set you back. And if you had made a different decision, then your life would look different. Or you would possibly have some of the things that you've always wanted in your heart right now. But because you didn't do that, you feel like you're further along than what you should be. And you might look at other people and say, well, man, they're doing what it is that I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, they are further along than me. If I hadn't have done this, or if I would have taken that opportunity, or if I didn't have my head up my butt, just being young and trying to figure things out, then maybe I would be in a different place right now. And myself, spirit, was just talking to me and saying, yes, while this may be true to some degrees, because obviously some decisions that we make in life, we can absolutely do without, like those times that we, got into that one relationship that we know we wasn't supposed to be in, or that time when we made a decision about a job or a place or a friendship or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Yes, some decisions did, quote unquote, set us back. But at the same time, it was these decisions that really allowed us to change the identity and idea of who we are within ourselves. It allowed us to pull the strength from our core strength that we didn't even know we had, to overcome these obstacles and come out on the other side. A lot of times when we're living this life and we're growing up, we can sometimes get lost in who we are, and we forget who we really are in our authenticity of who spirit made us. So these hardships and these hard times and these toxic relationships and these heartbreaks and these failures and these betrayals, what they do is they not only make us stronger, but they push us closer to the divine. They push us closer to who we are meant to be. And it is then when we are willing to shed these old parts of ourselves that are not true, shed this subconscious programming within ourselves that is not true, because it's like, I have to do something different. I have to change. I have to live my life a different way. So it's all for a purpose. It really helped to assist us in the wisdom that we carry and the awakening that we are in right now. It was all like a catalyst in a way. And, you may say, well, why is my life like this compared to someone else's life? It's like, you are different. You know what I mean? You have a different calling. You have a different purpose. Not everybody was born into the same type of family structure that you were born in. Not everyone had to overcome the immense amount of trauma that you've had to overcome. Although we all have our issues and we've all gone through something, I don't think anyone is, you know what I mean, just like immune to that, but the level, like the deep level of trauma and the deep level of transmutation that you've had to do is just different from other people, and your life looks different. You can't walk the same road that someone else would walk. You know what I mean? It's like you were supposed to have all these lessons so that you can live out the purpose that you're supposed to live out and see the world through a lens the way that you see it. Like, you are a child of Source, the Most High. You are the light, and that's just going to look different for you. And Spirit was telling me, like, you may look at this rejection, you know what I'm saying, or these failures as rejection, and that you didn't make it, or it shoulda, coulda, woulda. But I have a plan. You know what I mean? I have a plan, and you may look at it as rejection, but the whole time I was protecting you from something much darker that you didn't even know was like looming around the corner, keeping you safe, keeping your mind and your psyche safe, keeping your spirit and your soul safe, because not everybody in this life has always meant you well. And, in our immaturity and, in those times where we weren't as mature, there were certain things that we weren't even ready for. The things that we were asking for, if it was given to us, we would have been chewed alive and spit out by the world. And this is just simply because we had a lot of healing to do. We had a lot of learning to do. We had a lot of growing to do, a lot of wisdom to gain. So I was protecting you. And while somebody else in the world can, go do something, you got to think about too. It's like, how many things do they have to go through to quote unquote have this position? And is this position that they have, would you say that Spirit would approve of it? You know what I'm saying? And all the maneuvering that they have to do. Not to say that Spirit can't be with you in every single situation. You know what I mean? It's like Spirit protects his. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting I say his. I think that's from the more of a protective masculine energy, because obviously I believe that Spirit has both the mother and father energy. So I don't look at it as being like a male or a female or anything, but just in that perspective, it was just a very protective energy over you. So, that's not the road or the route that Spirit wanted you to take, because obviously if you were meant to do something, then you would have, you know what I mean? You would have done it. And the fact that you still have these desires in your heart, you still, it's like you have this knowing in your heart that you're meant to be in a certain place, or you're meant to accomplish a certain thing or do a certain thing. The fact that you have it there means that you know what's going to happen. So throughout this entire process, it's like, be thankful that you were spared from a lot of situations that could have gotten you into a lot of harm, or a lot of situations that would have broken down your mental state even further. Be thankful that you are where you are, and you know what you know now, and that you're stronger for it, and that you have this close relationship with the divine, and that you are not on the same trajectory as everybody else in the world, because you don't want to be. And Spirit is going to lead and guide you to the right place that you are supposed to be, that is meant exactly for you. Align you with the right people who have your best interest at heart, people who are not going to try to manipulate you, try to use and abuse your talents or your gifts, people who genuinely want to help, just like you. You know what I mean? So allow Spirit to give you the right relationships in this season that you're in, because now you're ready. You have the right mindset, you have the right soul, you have the right spirit, the right psyche, the right strength, and you can now you now have this relationship with Spirit, and you're going to know how to maneuver even better. So it was all a blessing. Even the things that you didn't think were blessings, even the things that you think were wrong that you did, it's still all works out for the good, for you, for the purpose of your life, and for where you are now. And spirit just like, allow me to pleasantly surprise you. You know what I mean? It's like we want to get in the driver's seat and we want to take the wheel. We want it to be how we want it to be all the time. And it was like, we want to know everything. Step one, step B, just, for that comfort. It's like, because it's like when you're walking in the unknown and you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know what's around the corner. It's like, oh, I need the answers. I need to know when, I need to know how, I need to know these things to a T. But Spirit is like, allow me to pleasantly surprise you. And if you really think about it, like, Spirit has already pleasantly surprised you in a few areas of your life. So just like when you surrendered, when you said, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm going to heal myself, I don't deserve people treating me like this, I deserve to be loved. When you say that, to the universe takes note of all those decisions that you make in self-love. And it's like, all right, okay, we see that's you don't want those things. So I'm going to give you what you do want. You know what I mean? So now that you're at that place, it's like Spirit has already done that for you in many ways. So if it has already happened in other ways of your life and where you are now, it's like, just rest. You know what I mean? Because it's going to happen the same way for you in all the areas of your life in the right exact timing. You know what I mean? I've said this before. It's like people get caught up on this age thing, myself included. I do. It's like, because it's like, oh, I was supposed to do this by this age and I haven't done it already. It's like, oh, well, I failed. But no, it's like you got people out here, badass people out here who are expressing the energy of the Most High, the energy of the light. They are full expressions of God within themselves. And so are you. And you can do this at any time. You know what I mean? And Spirit is, going to send certain people in your life. And you can be like, I don't know how they found me. Or, I don't know how that aligned up, but it has to be like, okay, I'm getting this in order and I got that in order and I'm getting this in order. I'm working on this for you behind the scenes. You know what I mean? I'm placing these things in place. And it's not just like, oh, well, I'm going to get this one thing. It's like Spirit is thinking about every single area of your life. You know what I mean? It's like family life, home life, work life, career life, personal life, fun life, financial life. It's like all these little pieces, you know what I mean? That Spirit is like, okay, well, this is in order, so this has to go this way, this has to go this way, so everything will be aligned in your life. So, I thought this was really cool. And, every time I get on here and I'm telling you guys things, it's definitely things directly that I have learned or things I'm directly going through or things that Spirit is definitely directly teaching me. And I always love to share, where I am in my journey. So just leaving you some encouragement today to say all is well. And those mistakes were also all meant for a purpose. So I love you. God sure loves you. Continue to live in love and light. And until next time, take care of you.